Hello, friends. I'm not Jim Nance. I'm still Kurt Berglund. And this is game number one of an Inside Pitch 1967 American League replay that I'm going to be doing. What I'm doing, I'm focusing on the American League only for 1967. And I'm going to be picking out particular games in the schedule during the season to replay. For the most part, but not always, using as played lineups. Put the gun down. Put the gun down. Today, as played lineups. It is the first American League scheduled game, and I'm going to do all of the opening days as the first batch of games that I'm doing in my replay. And then I'm going to kind of jump around in the schedule for games that I think are interesting to replay. For the most part, as played lineups, but I'm reserving the right to make some changes. The results of each game will change the standings as we go along, and I'll be updating you on those as well. And I would expect that in August and September, when we get to that part of the schedule, you'll be seeing a lot of the Angels, Tigers, Twins, and Red Sox games, and probably not so many of the others. All right, so today it's April 10th, 1967. It's the American League opening day with the New York Yankees going to D.C. Stadium, not RFK, D.C. Stadium, to take on the Washington Senators. Neither club really going anywhere in the 1967 season, but they have some interesting players, certainly on both rosters. What I'm going to be doing in these first few games is to be showing you how the game works, as well as getting into the strategic decisions that need to be made and calling the game. But in case you don't know very much about how inside pitch works, and I am not by any means an expert, but I'm going to try and explain how the game works so you get a sense of that if you haven't yet purchased it or you're thinking about purchasing it for your own tabletop. The opposing pitchers today. For the New York Yankees, it's their mid to late 60s and early 70s ace, Mel Stottlemyre. Stottlemyre, let me get the right card up here. Here we go. In 1967, had a record of 15-15 with a 2.96 earned run average. Of course, we're still in the 1967 in the down offensive period here for Major League Baseball. But a good season nonetheless. And for the Senators, it's going to be Pete Richard, who was traded to the Baltimore Orioles during the season, but was 9-16 overall with a 3.47 earned run average. Stottlemyre, a right-hander, Richard, a lefty. All right, with all that said, let's get to, and so I will be breaking up today's game into a couple of different videos. Everything's going to be posted on my channel. It will not be all posted on the same day, just so it's in a watchable chunk. All right, so with all that said, let's get to the starting lineup. Visiting New York Yankees, leading off in left field, it's Tom Tresh, batting second. And again, these lineups are as played. Batting second, right field, it's Bill Robinson. Batting third at first base, Mickey Mantle. Batting fourth in center field, Joe Pepitone. Batting fifth behind the plate, Alston Howard. Batting sixth at third base, Charlie Smith. Batting seventh at second base, Horace Clarke. And batting eighth, it's the shortstop, John Kennedy. On the mound is Mel Stottlemyre. For the Senators, these are the PDF versions of these cards. Their cards do not come from Inside Pitch in black and white format. They do not. They come in color, like that. All right, so for the Senators, leading off at shortstop, it's Ed Brinkman. Batting second at second base, Bernie Allen. Batting third in center field, Fred Valentine. Batting fourth at first base, in left field, Frank Howard. Batting fifth at first base, Dick Nen. Batting sixth in right field, Cap Peterson. Batting seventh at third base, Ken McMullen. Batting eighth and doing the catching, it's Doug Camilli. And batting ninth, it's Pete Richard, again traded to Baltimore a little bit later on in the season. All right, so to do inside pitch, you will see me using 3 and sometimes 4 dice. They look like this. The basic inside pitch roll will have these dice involved. Sometimes I'll be using the blue one as well. All right, so we are ready to go with opening day of the 1967 season. And Tom Tresh stands in against Pete Richard, and the pitch is a 2-4. Okay, so we look first in inside pitch on the pitcher's card. So we read the red number across the top, the white number down the column, and sometimes we'll need the D20 and sometimes we won't, but I'll be rolling it with each at bat. All right, so now we have a possible home run. The way this works, we have a home run with a question mark. So the way this will work is that first we take the D20 roll and apply it to the pitcher's card. And that's down here. So here's our home run question mark spot. Tresh is a switch hitter, which means he's a right-handed batter. 10 is not in the home run range. If it was between 1 and 6, then we'd re-roll the home run number and come on over here. And with Richard being a left-handed pitcher, we'd compare that second D20 roll to the 1 to 10 here and see if it was gone. And if it's gone in both places, then it's a home run on the home run question mark result. However, since it's not, we don't have to do the second D20 roll. We go immediately to Tresh's card, and we re-roll for a new outcome. It's a 4-3, which is a ground ball to Ed Brinkman at short. He throws to Dick Nen at first base for the out, and we're underway with 1 out in the first. Now it's Bill Robinson. 1-6 is an EG question mark. So we're going to re-roll. We're going to keep this 19. It's an EG question mark. And if there's a grounder here, we'll have to do an error check on Robinson's card. It's a single 6, and I believe that just stands as a single and not a grounder error. So that's how I'm playing it. If I'm wrong, please correct me in the comments. Now it's Mantle with 1 out and 1 on. Robinson on first base. Richard to stretch, and the pitch is a 3-4. The @ symbol is a ballpark symbol. So we go to the DC Stadium card, which is right here, and we re-roll. 3-1 is a grounder to third. Okay, so we have a double play chance. And the double play chance is hit to Ken McMullen. So, first we look at the double play ratings of each player. -1 on Richard and a 2 on Mantle. So we're left with a 1. A +1, and we have to look at McMullen, who's a +1 because he was at double play depth, so that bumps us to a 2 on the double play rating. And then we look at the pivot rating for the second baseman. That's Bernie Allen. And he's a +1. So if I roll a 1, 2, or 3, they're going to turn it McMullen to Allen to Nen. They don't. They go McMullen to Allen for 1, and the relay to get Mantle at first is late. Mickey legs it out, if that's the expression I'm looking for a 1967 Mickey Mantle. So he's on first with a fielder's choice with 2 outs, and now it's Pepitone. 1-1. Okay, now we have a straight homer. Now this is different than the homer question mark on the pitcher's card. The straight homer on the pitcher's card is only checked in one spot, and that's on the batter's home run. So we rolled our D20 and we got a 16. So we look at the batter's home run. Remember, Richard is a left-handed pitcher. So we look here, 16. Our home run number only goes to 7. So it is not a home run. So now we re-roll on Pepitone's card. We re-roll on Pepitone's card. Needed to check that quickly. And we get a 3-6. That's popped up. On the infield, it's Bernie Allen, and he's going to put away the pop-up for out number 3. That retires the Yankees in the first. Mantle is left stranded, and we go to the bottom of the first. Brinkman, Allen, and Valentine coming for the Senators. Eddie Brinkman, 6-2. All right, here we have our first lefty-righty split. We have a strikeout chance on Stottlemyre's card. However, we have to look at the 20. And the 20 is where we look on Brinkman's card versus a right-handed pitcher. So we have strikeout numbers that stop at 11. And we actually have strikeout numbers because of the stadium card that stop at 10. Neglected to subtract that before, but it didn't matter really. So it goes 1 down, and we roll the 20. So that's nothing. Since that's missed, we go to Brinkman's card and we re-roll, and it's a 6-5. Brinkman hits it to left field. Tommy Tresh is under it and puts it away for out number 1. And we're underway in the bottom of the first. Now it's Bernie Allen, the left-handed batting infielder for the Senators. 3-4 is an error check. Or a possible error. So, this D20 will stand for the error check. And we'll see where it's hit by rolling on Allen's card. It's hit in the air to right field. Under it is Bill Robinson. Bill Robinson's error number is found on his card right there in parentheses. And it's lower than a 9. So he makes the catch, and there's 2 gone in the first. Fred Valentine coming up. Switch hitting Senators outfielder, the pitch from Stottlemyre, is a 1-4. Okay, this becomes a single if Stottlemyre is fatigued. However, he is not. So we roll on Valentine's card instead. It's a 2-2. That's hit in the air to right. Robinson under it and takes it for out number 3. So 1-2-3 first inning for Stottlemyre. Okay, now it's time for the second. It'll be Alston Howard, Charlie Smith, and Horace Clarke coming up for the Yankees in the top of the second. Howard, of course, later in the season would be traded to the Red Sox. He's with the Yankees on opening day, though. The pitch from Richard is a 6-1. That's a K result, so we take the 10 and we compare it to the batter's K number. Remember, we have to subtract 1 for the DC Stadium strikeout impact, which is found right here. So Howard's K number goes from an 11 to a 10, but that happens to be equal to to our D20, which means Richard has his first strikeout, and there's one gone in the second. Charlie Smith, who has kind of a series of bizarre-looking baseball cards in the 1960s, he's got that going for him. The pitch to him from Richard is a 5-4. That's another K chance. It's a 16 against the left-hander. Knocks him down to a 10, so that's nothing. We re-roll for Charlie Smith, and it's a 4-6. That's hit in the air to left. Hondo, Frank Howard is under it, and there's two gone. And here comes Horace Clark. The second baseman that Ralph Houck just insisted was a leadoff man. The pitch. Okay, we have an at symbol. I think that's what that's called. And so we're going to look on the ballpark card. We re-roll on the ballpark card, and that's a 6-3. And that's blank. And that means one thing, my friends. It means we have a rare play. Now, there's a rare play chart that I can't quite squeeze into the picture, so you're going to have to trust me on this one. A 31 on the rare play charts. Nope. Sorry. Gotta look on the side that says bases empty. That's very important. 31 ground ball to McMullen, who throws the ball in the dirt, making Dick Nen scoop the ball. So now we got to see if Dick Nen can scoop it. 1, 2, or 3, and he does. And he does. He saves Ken McMullen the error. And Horace Clark is retired 5-3 on the grounder, so it's a 1-2-3 inning for Richard in the second. All right, here comes Hondo, Frank Howard, to lead off the Senators' second against Settlemyre. It'll be Hondo, Nen, and Peterson. Coming up against Mel. Wild is a wild pitch check, but there's nobody on, so we re-roll on the pitcher's card. It's considered a foul ball. And we have a walk chance. We use our 8, and we go to Hondo's card. Stottlemyre is a right-hander. His walk number goes to 13. Howard's does. So he draws a walk, and that's a leadoff walk for the Senators in the second. Now it's Dick Nen. Never really got his career going, but had apparently some pop in that left-handed bat. Stottlemyre, the stretch, checks Howard at first, and the pitch to Nen is a 4-3 on Stottlemyre's card. That's a K check. It's a 20. That's not low enough for Nen. So we re-roll, and it's a 1-2, and that's grounded to Charlie Smith and his bizarre baseball cards. So let's see what we got here. Smith is he's in the right spot. He's at double play depth, so that's a 1. Stottlemyre's a 0. Nen is a 2, so Smith's 1 plus this 2 makes him a 3. We check Horace Clark's pivot rating, which is a 0. And yeah, so it goes Smith to Clark to Mantle for a rally-killing, soul-crushing double play turned by the Yankees. And there's 2 outs now in the bottom of the second. Cap Peterson comes up. Speaking of people that never got their career going. Stottlemyre's pitch is a 3-2. That's a K chance. It's a 12 versus a right-handed pitcher. Goes down to an 8. But that's a 12. It's way too high. So we re-roll for Peterson. And it's a 1-5. That's grounded to John Kennedy, who throws to Mickey Mantle for the out at first base. We've played 2 complete. And we have no score at DC Stadium on opening day, April 10th, 1967. All right, Pete Richards back on the bump to face Kennedy, Stottlemyre, and Tresh. 8-9-1 coming up for the Yankees in the third. The pitch from Richard is a 3-6. All right, we see another evidence of a split here. 3-6 goes down here. We got the walk to the left of the slash, and there's nothing to the right of the slash. So we have to re-roll. And look at Kennedy's card, which is a 5-5. That's a star line 4, so we go back to Richard's card. And that's grounded to Ken McMullen, who fires to Dick Nen for the out. And there's one gone in the Yankee third. Now it's Stottlemyre. The pitch from Richard is a 3-6, and we got the same thing. Stottlemyre's a right-handed batter. It's a blank. So we re-roll on Mel's card. It's a 2-3, and that's grounded to Bernie Allen, who throws to Dick Nen for the out. And there's 2 gone in the third. Now it's Tom Tresh. Tresh is 0 for 1. The pitch from Richard, 5-2, is a strikeout chance. It's a 13. So we take Richard's left-handed arm and we compare it to Tresh. 8 minus 1 is a 7. Doesn't strike him out. So we go to Tresh's card and we re-roll. It's a 4-6. Star line 5. Ground ball, Eddie Brinkman. And he throws to Dick Nen. And that retires the Yankees in 1-2-3 fashion in the third. All right. Here comes Stottlemyre for the bottom of the third. He'll face McMullen, Camilli, and Richard for the Senators. 7, 8, 9 batters. Mel's pitch, the wind, and the delivery. It's an error on a throw if one is made. 5-2 is a single to center. There's not going to be a throw, but there is a base hit. That's the first one for the Senators. 1 down or 1 on with nobody out in the third. Camilli up. Didn't have a good year. We'll just leave it at that. The pitch from Mel is a K+. So a K+, again, we're on the right side of the slash because Camilli's a right-handed batter. So his K chance against a right-handed pitcher is 12, but the plus gets us to add 10. So it actually goes to 22. And since he can't roll, it's a D20. So that strikes him out, and that's Stottlemyre's first strikeout. Now it's Richard. And what do we want to do here? He is a 3 bunter, so we're going to try and lay one down inside pitch style. I am not rolling the strategy rolls, by the way, and I refuse to roll the strategy rolls. So if you're expecting me to roll the strategy rolls, nope, not going to happen. I'm calling my own strategy, friends. And I'm calling this sacrifice bunt. So we start by rolling these 3 dice and looking at Stottlemyre's card. It's a wild result. And we're going to resolve that normally. And that's not going to be good news for the Yankees because wild pitch check is what this calls for. The number we're going to look at is a 4, so we don't need to bunt because Stottlemyre just wild pitched McMullen to second. So now Richard, I'm going to take the bunt sign off and have him swing away. The pitch from Stottlemyre is a hit by pitch check. Hit by pitch for Richard is a 0, and we even subtract 7 from Stottlemyre. So it is not going to be a hit by pitch. So now we roll against the batter's card. 5-5 is a G4. So that's grounded to Horace Clark as McMullen advances to third, and the throw goes to Mantle to retire Richard. So with 2 outs, McMullen's now on third for Brinkman at the plate. Stottlemyre a pitch away from getting out of the jam. The pitch to Brinkman is a K. Now it becomes a walk if Stottlemyre is fatigued. However, he is not fatigued. So we do a K check. To do the K check, we come on over here. Stottlemyre is a righty. His number is an 11. We subtract 1 for DC Stadium. And we look at the 6. And sure enough, Stottlemyre strikes him out for his second strikeout. And more importantly, the third out of the third inning. Senators do not score. They threaten, but do not score. And we go to the fourth with the score 0-0. Richard will face Robinson, Mantle, and Pepitone in inning number 4 for the Yankees. Richard winds and delivers. It's a 5-6, which is a single one, but it's in parentheses, which means only after he is fatigued. He is not fatigued at this point. We'll talk about fatigue in a minute. But for right now, it's a ground ball, Starline 4. It's a ground ball, third base. Ken McMullen gloves it and throws to Dick Nen for the out. One gone in the fourth. Here's Richard's fatigue number. This is what we'll be using, 25. And he has faced 11 hitters so far. Here comes hitter number 12, Mickey Mantle. Pitch from Pete is a strikeout check. He's a left-hander. It only goes to 12, so we re-roll on Mickey's card. And that's going to be extra bases to left field. Down the line, Mickey's going to hobble his way to second base for a double. And the Yankees have their first man in scoring position in this ball game. With one out, it's Pepitone. Joe is 0 for 1. Mantle at second. Richard the belt. And the pitch, 5-2, is a K check. So we go to Joe Pepitone's card. He goes down to a 4 for the -1, so it's not a strikeout. See if Joe can drive in Mickey. Base hit to left. So we're going to get our first base runner advancement challenge here of the game. And it's Frank Howard in left field. So we have kind of an interesting derby. Frank Howard's arm against Mickey Mantle's 1967 legs. I'm not sure anyone really wants to watch that derby, but let's see what happens. I'm going to pull out my third die for this experience. We're going to look red, white, and blue. So it's a single to left. It is a +1 for Mantle. His running is something we need to check. It is a 3, believe it or not. So Mantle starts with a 3. He gets a +1 because it was hit to left. He gets another +1 because of Howard's arm. And there's only one out, so that's all he's getting. So we're going to roll all 3 dice. We read them in red, white, and blue order. We may not need them all. The 2 here tells us that if the roll is higher than the ABR, adjusted base running, then the runner holds. Well, it's a 2. That's less than 5, so Mickey's going to score from second. It's 1-0 Yankees as Pepitone drives home Mantle here in the top of the fourth. Now it's Alston Howard with Pepitone on first. Richard the stretch and the pitch to Elston is a 3-1. That is to the right of the slash, so it's open, which means we roll on Howard's card. It's a 4-4. It's hit in the air to center. Under it is Valentine for the out, and there's 2 down. And now Charlie Smith and his bizarre baseball cards comes to the plate. Charlie's 0 for 1. Pepitone's on first, and there's 2 men out. Richard the stretch and the pitch, and we have a home run check. But it's a 20. which is way above what Richard's given up. So we re-roll on Smith's card, and it's hitting the air to center. Under it is Fred Valentine one more time, and that will retire the Yankees, but they score a run on 2 hits, and after 3.5, they're leading this one 1-0. Bottom of the 4th for the Senators, it's Bernie Allen, Fred Valentine, Frank Howard. Opening day, April 10th, 1967. Having fun with inside pitch baseball. Bernie Allen up. He's 0 for 1. The pitch from Stottlemyre is a 3-2. That's a strikeout check. 12, actually knocked back to a 9, is not a strikeout. So we're going to re-roll on Allen's card, and that's grounded to Mickey Mantle. He's going to take it unassisted to first base, and there's one gone in the bottom of the 4th. Now it's Fred Valentine. Fred's 0 for 1. The pitch from Stottlemyre is a strikeout check. A walk if he's fatigued, but he's not. Mel can go to 30 hitters before fatigue may become an issue. 16 for Valentine is way over his strikeout number, so we're going to re-roll on Fred's card. 6-2 is a star line 5. Ground ball to John Kennedy, who gloves it and throws to Mantle for the out, and there's 2 down in the 4th, and here comes Frank Howard. Howard walked in the 2nd, but was eliminated on a Dick Nen double play grounder. The pitch from Stottlemyre is an open reading, so we got to re-roll for Howard. And that's star line 4, grounded to Charlie Smith. He throws to Mantle, and that retires the Senators in the 4th. We go to the 5th, and it's 1-0 Bronx Bombers, although I'm not sure in 1967 anybody was really calling them that. Clark, Kennedy, and Stottlemyre, 7, 8, 9 in the top of the 5th. Horace Clark, 0 for 1. And it's wild, which means foul ball. We re-roll on the pitcher's card. It's a 1-6 error on a grounder, so now we re-roll on the batter's card. If it's a grounder, we'll need to make a check. And it's a single through shortstop. And I think there we do an error check. Let's see, I'm not sure. But let's do one. All right, so it's Ed Brinkman. Ed Brinkman's error number is a 5. So we're going to re-roll the D20. Range checks get you a D6. Error checks get you a D20. I rolled a 6 for Brinkman, so it is no error, even if there was a check. And Kennedy's up with Clark at first. Now, John Kennedy in 1967 had a crisp 196 average. I should probably be bunting, but Stottlemyre's up next. I'm not sure what that gets me, so I'm going to let him swing away. Clark's at first, Richard the stretch, and the pitch is a 5-3. That's a walk check 11. No, you did not walk him. And, okay, it's a question mark 8. So now what we have is to look at Kennedy's line up here. Now he's facing a left-hander. So it's hit to center field. But we don't know if it's a single or a double or a flyout for the outcome. And it's a base hit to center field. Clark is on first, heading for second. Now Horace, among his other virtues, could run. He is a 4. First to third gets him a -1 just because, so that knocks him down to a 3. Fred Valentine's arm is a +1. That gets him back to a 4. So, we're going to roll all 3 dice again, red, white, and blue. Take the red one first. And that's going to get Clark to third. So it's Yankees at the corners. Oh, wait a minute. No, I'm wrong. We have to check the second die for the chart. And the second die is our white die. That's a 4. Lead runner advances if the roll is higher than the trailing runner's BR with no adjustment. The trailing runner holds. It is higher, so he holds. So it is Yankees at the corners, Kennedy at first, Clark at third, and Stottlemyre coming to the plate. We're in the 5th. There's nobody out. And I think they're going to move the infield in for this experience with Mel Stottlemyre. Richard got a goal for the strikeout here. He certainly was capable of it. So let's see if he gets it. Infield in, Clark at third, Kennedy at first. I could squeeze, but the infield's in, and that's just not good. So we're going to let him swing. It's a 3-1. He's a right-handed batter, so it's an open symbol to the right of the slash. 4-3 is a G4. All right, so that's hit on the ground to Bernie Allen. All right, so the runner on third is Clark. He gets an immediate -2. We're going to have him hold. And yeah, they're going to take the out at first base as Kennedy moves to second. So Stottlemyre grounds to Allen. Kennedy moves up. There's now Yankees at second and third, but now 1 out. And Tresh is at the plate. The Senators' infield will remain in. This is Richard's 19th batter. Infield in. A 1-5 is a K check, but it's a 20, which is way over Tresh's strikeout number. It's a 6-3, grounder to third. Well, Yankees are going to get aggressive here and send Clark. So what's going to happen is, the first thing we do is we look at Clark's base running number, which is a 4. But the infield is in, which means you subtract 2, which means he's going to be saved 1-2 and thrown out 3 through 6. So he's going. Now the Senators have to decide whether to throw home for him or not. This is Ken McMullen, who's got the grounder. And he is going to throw to Camilli to try and get Clark at the plate. While all this is happening, Tresh will be safe at first, and John Kennedy, who's on second, will move to third. Going to use my blue die. 1-2, Clark slides home safely. Everything else, Camilli will tag him out. Camilli tags him out, And so Clark is retired on the fielder's choice at the plate as Tresh scores. Tresh is safe at first, and Kennedy moves to third. So they try to get him in and do not get it done. Now it's Bill Robinson. Yankees at the corners, Kennedy at third, Tresh at first, and Mantle on deck. 2 outs, though. And I don't know. So this is batter number 19 for Richard. He faces... Yeah, they're not going to start anybody yet. Okay. Try and get out of the inning. Robinson up. Richard the stretch checks the runners, and the pitch infield at normal depth. Range play on the stadium card. All right, so anything we do here could be a range check. HRP. All right. So, an HRP means that Robinson has hit it to left. That's his pulled field, and we're going to use the 18 as his home run number. So he hits it deep to left. Going back is Howard. Now, we rolled a range check here on number 2. And I don't know if he doesn't hit it out of the park. I don't know if we still do the range check or just accept the normal outcome of the fly out at the wall, and I'm going to say that's what we do. 18 home run number against a lefty is a 13. So Howard makes the catch. Well, maybe that's not right, though. Yeah, we better do a range check for Howard. All right, so we'll do a range check to see if he gets back there in the first place. All right, now Howard's range is a 2. It's his first number there. So if I roll a 1 or a 2, he's going to make the catch. Anything short of that is going to be trouble for the Senators. He did not make the catch. Now, with a failed range check, we roll again on the 1d6. 1 to 4 is a single. 5 to 6 is a double, so it's a base hit. See, that doesn't make sense to me. That does not make sense to me. So the ball's almost out of the park. Howard doesn't get there, but somehow he holds the runner to a single. And yet, I have no reason I'm going to give him a double. I'm just going to give him a double. So we got a double for Robinson. It's off the wall. Kennedy scores from third. It's 2-0 Yankees. And Tresh, his speed is a 3. He's coming around third, and they're going to wave him. Howard's arm is a +1. That bumps him to a 4. And double to left, it's a -1. So that knocks him back to a 3. But there's 2 outs, which bumps him back to a 4. So we're going to roll all of our dice again. And it's a 3, which means Tresh will score. Robinson gets a 2-run double because Howard failed the range check. And it's 3-0 Yankees. Now it's Mantle with Pepitone on deck. Now I could walk him. Pepitone on deck is a lefty. That would set up the lefty-lefty matchup. But am I really going to intentionally walk batters in the top of the fifth? No, I'm not. He's going after Mantle. Robinson at second. 2 outs. 2 in already. The pitch. 4-5 is a strikeout check. He's not fatigued. A 6 is less than Mickey's strikeout number, and so Richard gets a little extra juice on the fastball and gets his second strikeout victim to close out the fifth. So, we've played 4. The Yankees scored 2 on 3 hits and leave 1. We're halfway through. It's Yankees 3, Senators 1. And we're going to the bottom of the fifth now. Stottlemyre will face Nen, Peterson, and McMullen. Stottlemyre winds and delivers. It's a 1-6, which is a double question mark, which is, of course, much more puzzling than the single question mark. And we look here. The double question mark zone. Nen is a left-handed batter. 1-3 is not in the star line range for a 1-3 batter. For a left-handed batter. And so now we treat it as a blank space. We re-roll on Nen's card. It's a 4-6. That's hit to right, but not deep. Bill Robinson is there for out number 1. Cap Peterson up now. 4-6 is a strikeout check on Stottlemyre's card. The right-hander Peterson facing the right-handed Stottlemyre. 9 minus 1 is an 8. That's below a 15, so we're going to re-roll on Cap's card. And it's a 3-3 grounded to Charlie Smith in his bizarre collection of Topps baseball cards. Throws to Mickey Mantle, and there's 2 gone in the fifth. Here's McMullen. 1 for 1. He's got the only Senators hit. 4-4 is a strikeout check. That's a 19. It's way over his strikeout number. It's a 2-5, and it's a base hit off of Charlie Smith and his bizarre baseball cards glove. And it's an infield hit for McMullen. 2 on with a Senator aboard at first base. Now it's Camilli. Doug, son of Dolph, struck out in the third, and Richard on deck, who will likely not bat if it comes to that, although the odds of Camilli getting on base seem long indeed. The pitch, strikeout check, it's a 15. That's over Camilli's number, which is reduced to an 11, of course. And we look on his card, and it's grounded to Mickey Mantle. Mickey's going to toss this to Mel Stottlemyre covering, and that will retire the Senators in the fifth. They get their second hit, and so does Ken McMullen, but they don't score after 5 complete. 3-0 Yankees. As is all too apparent at this point, my voice is going on me, so we're going to take a timeout here after 5 complete innings of play on April 10th, 1967, with the Yankees leading on opening day over the Senators 3-0. We'll continue tomorrow with this sort of tutorial walkthrough of play on inside pitch for innings 6 through 9 of this game. And I hope you'll join me 10 a.m. tomorrow Central, tomorrow morning, for the conclusion of the Yankees-Senators 1967 opening day ball game. Thanks so much for being with me. I hope you have a wonderful day. So long, everybody.